Welcome to Mirror Domains, and this is my Rebel Moon full movie, first time watching here on, well, Mirror Domains. Guys, this is a Netflix film from Zack Snyder. We've got a couple of juicy storylines going into this movie, guys. It's going to be the first of two parts, okay? He made an announcement last week that apparently this is not the true version of the film, that this is somewhat of a Frankenstein's monster, well, some other thing. I don't know what we're watching then. The monstrosity known as it's not theatrical cut. It's just the normal cut. I don't understand it, because if it's on Netflix, you should be able to give us, if it's a 4-hour version, fine. But we got a 2-hour and 15-minute Rebel Moon here. By the tomato meter well, it didn't debut good, guys. So, I'm not going to read the synopsis or the early buzzshot reviews, snapshot reviews. I'm going to try to maintain a fairly open mind going into this, because I always give things a fair shake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put no spoilers, please, in the chat, and I'm going to tag it so that while we're watching it, if you feel like you must ruin that for me, well, you guys will be put in a timeout room. And hey, those are the breaks. All right. Now, why is that not letting me pin? All right. Okay, for some reason it's not letting me pin. Whatever. Let's just get into this movie, because guys, this was on my most anticipated of the year. Okay? Because of the project, it's supposed to be like Zack Snyder's version of Star Wars. So, with that being said, here we go. I'm hitting the play button now, and we are underway for Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1. I don't know what the subtitle is. I don't really care about the subtitles for it. I really don't. I'll just call it Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2. And we're underway. Yay. Got my coffee? Sorry, it's just opening music, ambient style type music.
On the mother world, 1,000 kings ruled unchallenged.
Okay. It's Anthony Hopkins, right? Terror.
Without end until the treachery of an assassin's blade struck.
The Royal Bloodline. Part 1, A Child of Fire. Okay.
Seized power, declaring himself regent. Rebel. Okay. Music is kind of lackluster. It definitely didn't have the impact of like the opening Star Wars theme, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be. Not everything has to be the same, right, guys? Chris says, I'm having some turkey meat for Christmas today, James. Oh, cool, man. I'm really enjoying Rebel Moon Part 1. Okay, so yeah, you said you liked it. There were some scenes that were a little off. Okay. Rebel Moon, A Child of Fire Part 1. Okay. Is that a volume set? Background doesn't look all the greatest because it doesn't feel like you can actually walk to those mountains in the background. That's what I mean. Hey guys, I'm not knocking it. I'm just making some observations here. There she is. She's the main reason why I'm watching this movie. Sofia Boutella. I don't care about this guy. She's sniffing the dirt. Yeah, so she's standing in front. Yeah, let's see. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania, green screen stage kind of stuff. And maybe that would have looked better on the big screen. Maybe it would have. Yeah, you don't believe anything is real behind her. You don't believe she could walk to that mountain in the background there.
I just thought.
You thought.
I thought. Yes, I thought that. Russell Crowe sniffs the dirt in Gladiator. Must be a farmer thing. Yeah, but you'd be smelling fertilizer. And if you know what the fertilizer is, do you really want to be putting your nose in that? I don't think I would. Yeah, that looks atrocious. The water up there, not that good for CGI wise.
Oh, Dan said they saw the summer herd
Fresh
returning.
meat.
Maybe 3 days right away.
Cora is her name? She thirsty? She's thirsty for that guy? Or the hunter? She is, right? Oh, that guy. No, that's not who that's Corey Stoll, right?
But we all know it is the thrust.
Didn't recognize him with the beard, man. Of course, we just last saw him as MODOK. For the gods. Now let me have a piece. In the mood for what? Some lovin'? Well, that's what he's got on his mind. Or all of a sudden I've been sucked back into the world of poor things. What do they call that? Manic bouncing? Is that what she called it? Or fancy bouncing? Oh, if you haven't watched Poor Things, guys. Emma Stone. Manic bouncing, is that what it is? Yeah. Do you have any kind of special meat or turkey for Christmas Eve? We put out like hors d'oeuvres and stuff. Dips, taco dips, spinach dips, deli meats, and we eat like that for Christmas Eve. Finger foods, mozzarella sticks, shrimp rings. Okay, so she's a stranger? She wasn't born there.
You know, the 2 seasons I've spent here have given me happiness.
She doesn't deserve it, huh?
be loved. I don't know if I'm capable of either. I was taught that love is weakness.
Do you agree with that? Love is weakness? With time.
That's surely what it sounded like.
Sam, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, lots of cookies, Chris. Chocolate chip, kind of like, also we make squares and stuff. So is that supposed to emulate Luke Skywalker looking up at the Star Destroyer? Like one of the cutscenes from New Hope? He sees a space battle going on. Okay, so that's supposed to be ominous music. Love isn't necessarily weakness, but it does leave you vulnerable at times, Hourglass says. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Emotionally. And that emotional thing could distract you, throw you off your game a little bit. Okay, so she's beating this gong, saying that warning that there's trouble. Everything.
I don't care.
Hmm.
Of that ship up there. I wonder what they would say if they found out where our excess went last year.
Well, you don't know what they want.
Is that a problem?
That ship does not represent prosperity.
No? Here we go. First appearance of the bad guys. So will it be as iconic as Darth Vader and stormtroopers blowing a hole in the side of the ship? About to see. That looks a little bit like Reaver kind of style ships from Firefly or Serenity, right? Actually, it's getting a little bit of the same tone and aesthetic as Firefly a bit, right? Timestamp? We're just coming up to the 13-minute mark here. Oh, you hear the footsteps? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Are you gonna watch? Are you gonna do Rebel Part 2? Well, yeah, probably. We done this one, so we might as well watch the second one too.
I welcome you to his warm embrace.
Okay, that's weird. Why are we hugging? Are you gonna stab me? I prefer not to hug you if I don't know you. Ed Screenbifer says, yeah.
Tell me about this beautiful village.
Walk with me up.
Okay, so they don't look exactly like death troopers or anything, but who are the people in red? They're looking at that young girl. Are they there for females to like breed or something?
It is no one person's.
Ah, I know that in the best of times the credit's shared. I was hoping that your land and the people of Veld might be able to help as we search for a...
Veld. They need supplies.
army runs on its stomach. I was thinking of a partnership where you supply us with food.
Seems reasonable. Yeah. He's not going to take it, right? Give us a reason why he's not going to take this deal. Is it just because of his posture, his outfit, his uniform, maybe? Are you liking this movie so far? Wow. There's not much. We're only 16 minutes in. No surplus. Well, we know that there's surplus.
Your fields seem larger than what your...
So we know he's lying to him. So he's going to be like, well, then I guess I'm just going to have to take all your food and leave nothing for you, right? And then that'll be the establishing thing of him being the bad guy.
I mean, look at these beautiful people. I can't...
Yes, sir.
But, yeah, I mean, it's always wise to hold some in reserve, isn't it?
So they obviously don't have replicator technology.
Trying to mislead you. Sindri simply has a slightly more conservative.
A rift.
Well, they-
It's not quite the idyllic community I'd first seen.
they're trying to make it appear a little bit like Inglorious Bastards, right? Kind of like that opening. We're taking everything, including this woman here, who will be my bride. Is that that's going to happen? A rifle?
I would never.
It's fine.
Is it fine? We know it's not going to be fine because he's got to be established as the bad guy. Here we go. Prepare yourself.
Please.
Yeah. So they don't obviously have replicator technology. For people who can travel through space, they haven't figured out the food equation yet. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Food equation is one of the first things that you would solve even before you develop technology to get off your planet into space. Yeah, of course. Yeah, he wants everything. What else would you think? He's going to take all your stores and everything. So that guy screwed up. He, if he just kept his mouth shut, maybe they would be left with something. But I don't think. This is the garrison left behind to clean up the town. Exit stage left, Corey Stoll. That was brief. Yeah, it was. And we got Chappie.
Militarim, defender of the king. Correction, of the slain king.
So that's Anthony Hopkins.
Get out, man! Kisakay!
See if you needed some more water.
Some more water?
I hope we don't have to do that, guys. You've already established them as the bad guys. You don't need to do that. So they're shooting the robot?
I do need to scrap you damn shit! You hear me?
Hey, you're going to draw on me, I'm going to draw on you. So this guy's a loose cannon.
No, sir.
So the second in command guy here has got a big head. He's been given just a bit too much leniency, and now his head's kind of become bloated.
Thank you. That is kind.
Chalice of the Redeemer.
Everything that dwells inside this metal skin to fight in her name. We, along with our honored king and queen, were assassinated in cold blood.
Okay. What does that mean? So she likes robots. She's showing some compassion. Of course, everything that he just said just went whoosh. I for completely like, what was he talking about there about some king and queen? I'm sorry. And I'm sitting here watching it. Trust me, I'm not on my phone or anything. Yeah, James, 30 minutes into the movie, and I'm getting another The Killer vibes. Yeah, it's not okay. We've already established all this. This is a redundant scene. We know what the struggle is. Just show us the resolve to it, Zach. No, we've done this already. They're not going to show you any mercy or value. They're going to kill you all. They're not going to leave you any food. See if it cut. See now if it started here and we cut out the stuff with the robot at the lake. We cut out the bullying of the villagers, and after Corey Stoll died, we cut straight to this. You just cut out. There is a bit of a pacing issue here. I'm looking for the end of Act 1 and where the real movie begins, kind of thing, right? We got to establish all the characters.
I was afraid you could bring trouble to us.
He's a Harris, right? The old man, he's a Harris. His last name, I mean. Is he brother to? Or
But what if that could change?
is it Jared Harris?
What if we did fight? Not only.
If I give them hope, they fight and surely lose.
Okay, so there's
I won't have that blood on my hands.
this mission statement of this movie. To find fighters to represent the Veld, right? So we are going to commit crimes here beyond murder and normal rules of war. You made your point, Zach. You don't have to go this route.
Boy.
We're soldiers. And if you're not going to behave like a normal soldier should, I am going to. I don't care if you're part of my regiment or platoon or whatever, or my battalion. We're going to be at odds if you think that you can handle women like that. And I'm not going to turn my eye. I don't care if you're my superior. If you behave like this, and this will be the last time that you get away with it. because I'd put you down, and that's it. I won't feel bad about it. We'll move on.
Not until I split this.
Yeah. So this should be the scene that establishes her as somebody who can lay down the law, right? So she should be able to dispatch everybody here. And then we'll know that the big Ed Screen guy will come after her, right? That'll be the bulk of the movie. No. Yeah. What did you think was going to happen? Do you think she's actually going to lose here? Ooh. Okay. Yeah, this is why I wanted to watch the movie, guys. This year throwdown. So they're relying on the Foley artists of... Oof. Ow. Scorpion tail a bit there, huh? See, okay, so that guy's going to be like the Finn, right? He's going to be kind of like the stormtrooper that turns against everybody. I like that. And that's something, okay, let's work with that storyline this time. Let's not do what Star Wars did and put it to the background and do nothing with it. You kill her and you're dead next. So how does this work for you?
Kill her.
Where are your loyalties, robot? Chappie? I'm going to call you Chappie because I don't know what your name is. It was that other soldier, right? I was trying to stand up for a little bit of humanity. You did what you had to do. Christopher, isn't there going to be a director's cut of Rebel? I hope. No, yeah, there was that story that was published that Zach said this isn't the real version of the movie because there's a director's cut out there that makes it a totally different movie. Well, if the only thing that will happen there is that there'll be more scenes added in. So everything that's happened up till now, like say, we're coming up on the 40-minute, oh my God. We're coming up on the 40-minute mark of as what should be at the end of Act 1. Imagine if he gets a director's cut and then that 40 minutes will get stretched to 55 minutes, accomplishing the same things. It's just drawn out more. I don't know if I want to see it. We'll have to see how it comes together. Because it's not like Lord of the Rings. Compare it to that. Okay, we get the theatrical cuts of Fellowship, but that was so awesome that you want to check out the extra added in stuff. Titus
Turned his own forces against those of the Motherworld. Last I heard, he was still out there somewhere.
Hmm. You want to work with this guy who got the leader killed and then put us in this situation?
Introduced me to the insurgents, the Blood Axes.
Okay, other than her standing up and fighting for the girl, that's what's supposed to be winning us over to root for her, right? That she'll stand up for what's right. This guy I don't like. I never liked him from the beginning, so I don't want him to be part of our group. I mean, it's because of this other guy that we're in this situation to begin with. Other than the opening narration, we haven't seen anything in space. We haven't seen a damn thing in space, and we're like 40 minutes in. And that's another grotesque, bad, matte shot of them on a green screen stage somewhere. Again, if you can't shoot it, guys, don't put it on the film. For God's sakes, Snyder. I'm sorry. It's just, this is so frustrating. This day and age, 2023, this is the best we can do for matte paintings? Like Jabba the Hutt's palace was a matte painting, and that looked tangible because they married it in better to the backgrounds. Are you saying that computers can't do that? I don't care. Shut your mouth, dude. You're the one who got Sindri killed.
They never asked for anything.
Nor should they. There should be no terms. So, who are the people there in the red? Are they chronicling everything? Are they like clerics or something?
Face to face with Belisarius.
That little girl is from The Sound of Freedom. Okay. You can do it! Blow his effing head off! What is it that Rob Snyder said? That's a quote from Waterboy. It's not loaded. He just wanted to see if she would do it. So a little bit like Gamora was with Thanos. So Snyder's trying to pull from these story tropes, familiar story tropes that we all know, to make his composition, which is fine. I mean, that's what Cameron does, guys. That's what James Cameron does for the Avatar movies. Artholaus.
with its soldiers who were my own.
Okay, so we're finally back in space, but it's not real time. This is a flashback. Okay. The Slain King. Okay, that was very 300-ish, right? That shot of the tower in the background. Who are you kissing? Some guy who fell in battle?
On the politics of expansion.
Yeah. I never saw Sound of Freedom either, Chris, because it was produced by a company that is, well, they do bad things. Let's just say that. And by bad things, I mean they are responsible for misinformation, not truth telling. Okay, so that's what I expected to see, but why is this in slow motion? You know what Zack Snyder is with these slow motion shots? He's somebody who falls in love with his image a bit too much. Kind of like, oh, this is a good shot, guys. This is a really good shot. Here, let me slow it down for you guys so you guys can see. You guys can see it, right? It's kind of like somebody who plays cards and falls in love with a pair of queens, knowing that somebody does have like a pair of kings, and he just falls in love with it anyway and says, see, look at this. This is a cool shot. This is my great hand. I got it. I got it. I'm in love with it. Okay, but you don't have to dwell on it, dude. You got to, yeah. Yeah, we already established that. You said that twice now.
You ask how I know that they'll destroy you.
Okay. Again, I don't like this dude. I don't know why this dude is here. Is he supposed to be like the Han Solo or something? Port City of Providence, Veld. I know from Zack Snyder's style, he likes to have a lot of these wide establishing shots and tracking shots after the establishing shot goes. So like he'll spend a lot of time on zoom ins to cities and buildings. The Imperium. They're gonna torture that guy?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's cool robot design. Okay, so she's cool. I want to see more of her. She was in the concept art, the one with the horns. So this is supposed to be Mos Eisley, the cantina. Music is definitely not on the same level as, say, John Williams, right? And I'm saying that it doesn't have to be that campy. Dun, 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 dun. It doesn't have to be like that. But it's got to be something that makes you go, hmm.
Best chance to find the blood axis is to contact the Leviticans.
Yeah, I have a room upstairs.
She's gonna whore, or he's gonna whore himself out. So this really has turned into Poor Things then. Did he have the death sentence on, how many systems is it? I don't like you either. You'll be dead. Is that what this guy? That's all that guy was. Right? Do you remember the red lights sabers? James teaser, the official Rebel Moon part 1. I believe that they're in this part 1. Oh, okay.
Or know where he might be.
Something's bothering me. She's saying the lines. And she's saying them the way that I think Sophia Botella would say them. She's not saying them as if that character was in the Colosseum.
To just turn and walk away.
Do you believe that, guys? That line delivery? Did that work for you? She said the line. I want to feel it. And she can do it. I believe that she can do it. A touch. I don't know if it's phoning. It could be directing. It could be Zack Snyder's directing of her. Because we've seen other directors like Matthew Vaughn get that out of her, right? When she was playing the villain in Kingsman, you believed her menace when she said her lines. This, not so much. And notice this is all going on here, and I could give a rat's ass. What's with all the slow motion? Yeah, you're going to beat them up. We know that you're going to beat them up. Show me some cool choreography. Cool choreography. Oh, there's Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam. Yeah. Slow motion is it's good in sparing doses. But they obviously haven't learned anything from what has made John Wick successful. And that's because we can see the action and it plays out quickly. I didn't feel any of the intensity.
Either?
So you a gun for hire?
No, that's not my thing.
He's going to be the Han Solo, right?
I could help you.
Oh, understand, we're just simple farmers.
She talks like a Asajj Ventress a little bit. Now, despite of everything I said about the acting and the line execution, there could be story reasons for that will be revealed for us later on down the road. So I'll keep my mind open to it. That I hope that it'll come around, right? Okay. Chris Schober, I just ordered Ahsoka season 1. 25 bucks, eh, for season 1? Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Acolyte.
Planting, cataloging seeds, and making sure that...
Okay, we don't need a scene of telling everybody who we are, because we know as the audience, Zach. You guys like the ship design? Body enhancements? So is he supposed to be a little bit... This is supposed to be very Harkonnen-like, right? From Dune. The Harkonnens have little insects that they crush and smoke. Get the spice and that kind of thing. Is that Cassius? Oh, are we going to see some naked Ed Screen butt?
Creature that has important information about the insurgents.
Devra Blood Axe. The ship design is like a basic submarine. A little bit basic, yeah, our glass Vikings. Frontier Homestead. New Nev Wode. See, because they're going on places like locations like this is why I'm saying that it gets a little bit like Firefly, right?
What brings you all the way out here?
I missed you.
So we're on Pollux now, right? Well, if there's money to be made.
We're here from a small village, and we're looking to hire some fighters to...
Chris Schober, how far into the movie are in timestamp? We're just coming up to the actual first hour mark. So he wants to clear his debts. That's what I want to do, is clear my debts. That's why I'm working in these jobs that I am. Oh, you do like to gamble, huh? Is it like a griffin? I can't quite see it. It is a griffin, right? There's something about the sound design that sounds like everything's very compressed. It doesn't feel surround sound wise. You know what I mean? Bennu. It's a Bennu. So you got to respect it, right? Okay, see, now, this is a scene that establishes this new character. There better not be another scene after this of him giving an exposition dump explaining to us who he is. This should be enough to explain to us as the audience who he is and what he can do. And it's cool. That would be cool, that if that's all that's done. But so far we've been getting redundant exposition thrown in. I believe this movie is like 2 hours and 50 minutes, James. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks about Andor season 2 being so long. You know, that's cool. I dig that. Hippogriff, Harry Potter, hourglass. Yeah, I forgot about those. I forgot about Harry Potter. I'm thinking more like from World of Warcraft kind of thing. That doesn't look so good. That looks actually like a location in World of Warcraft. Stone Talon Mountains? Or no, Razor Edge Peaks. Is that what it is? Oh, he sees something. He doesn't like something. What? It bucked him? Okay, very John Carter from Mars-ish. Again with the slow motion, Zach. Come on. Yeah, I already saw that it was a cool shot. You don't need to freeze frame it for us. I can imagine the cutscenes for a Rebel Moon computer game, Hourglass says, yeah. I'll tell you this. We know his inspirations were Star Wars. But it doesn't have the pacing. It doesn't have that boom, boom, next scene, we're on to the next thing, and it's kind of like you have barely enough time to absorb what we just saw kind of thing. And a lot of that has to do because of these slow motion shots that he likes to put in. This is the first bit of the soundtrack that is actually standing out to me, too. Rebel Moon is better than Jupiter Ascending, Bifer says. Well, that's not a tall order, is it? I'll tell you, I'm not hating this movie. It's just, it doesn't quite feel like yet we're in the bulk of what the full story is. Because they're still acquiring people to fight for them, right? We don't know the extent of what threat is. But it wasn't until the third act that no, even at the beginning we knew that the Death Star was going to be a big threat. That's why they had the plans. Be good to her. He's not gonna he's not gonna let that fat guy ride him. No. He's gonna take you up and drop you off and kill you. You would actually trust getting on that thing. He's dead. Right? I guess Snyder's trying to establish the skill set of each character and then adapt the whole greater sum of its parts. And the adage that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Yeah, that guy's going to break Bird's back. No, Bird's going to have his way with the fat guy. No. Hey, James, who are you calling fat guy? Ooh.
I might have a couple ideas.
Here's what I would do with Sophia. I would say, okay, we're gonna work together. We're gonna workshop this. Is what all actors should be doing. And now that you've got everybody's got this, we're gonna say, here's your line. That was good. What's next? Right? Is that what she said? She said, that was good. Let's move on. You're gonna say it 5 different ways. We're gonna film it, and we're gonna look at it, and I'm gonna want to feel it here, and we're gonna find it. It's like it's a process to find the way that you want to see it so that it's believable beyond just some casual person reading the line, which that sort of felt like. And then once we find that, we're going to do it over and over again so that when you're on set shooting it, you say it the exact same way that you did before. But then you'll have this repertoire of how the other ways that we did say it, in case Zach or the director wants you to try to say it in a different tone or a different way, right? Right? And you know what it looks like, too.
Present a village on a small mound called Velt.
What's the girl from Totally Killer played the Sharon Kipka? Bifer. That would have been awesome. Kieran Shipka was, yeah, she's got that extra gear. Because so far, Sophia Boutella only seems to have one look on her face. Kind of a scowl. That kind of a look. So I would say look at it like this. We know that she was trained to be on the bad guy's side. She left, obviously. How is this movie going to change her from the beginning to what she's going to evolve into, right?
I know why you're here. You want the child.
Spider-Woman? That's very Harkonnen. Oh, sorry, Harkonnen.
Why should I care about that mother's pain when no one is here for my pain?
Yeah. Borg Queen Spider-Woman, Bifer says, yeah. Hunnam's North Irish accent is really strong and kind of grinding on me, Arglass says. This is not the way. I do like the design.
But you can't hurt that child.
Dialogue's rough. The dialogue is... Okay. Relent. She's beaten you this far. Still think you can take her, huh? Okay, Zach. We get it. You like the slow-mo. Ooh. She got a bionic arm there? She does. Okay. That's what I want to see. Laser swords? Or are they just hot? Uh-oh. Yeah. The Korean lady with the red sabers is super famous. I've seen her, yeah, for films. Oh, okay. That was
amazing.
Amazing, huh? Did we get to that Pollock's place yet? I forgot about that. That's supposed to be our main mission, isn't it? And we've acquired 2 other warriors. And the lower decks are very much like Serenity, right, guys? Like this is the cargo hold of the Serenity.
I believe that.
More exposition? Again? Puppy! There's puppies there? The bird.
It was said that she had the power to give life.
Okay. A little bit like the Force then, right? Yeah, Chris, I can't believe how quickly this year's gone by, too. This month has gone by like that, too. So she brought the bird back to life? I do like the ethereal type music.
After all these hard years.
Is that Carrie Elways? Again, I can't. It's hard for me to recognize it with the beard. Was Carrie Elways the king that gets slain? Who kills the king? Was it Ed Skrein? Are we going to find out who kills the king? Was it her? All right. So, what did that story have to do with the plot? What did that do to advance the story forward? It added another side element that's going to be brought in later? Is this helping to develop her character? Was that supposed to be cathartic for her to release that by telling somebody else that and conveying that so that, I don't know, there's this Coliseum. Carrie Elways is on the IMDb cast list for Rebel Moon. Okay, so it is Carrie Elways. Imagine if John Williams' Rebel Moon Star Wars theme music for the credit sequence would be interesting. Yeah. General Titus. And we're going to pronounce it Titus in this, not Titus, like the way that Final Fantasy. For all the people who played Final Fantasy X, I, for the entire game, called him Titus. And then, what is it, one cutscene? That's not how it's pronounced, James. It's pronounced Titus. I'm not going to change calling him Titus. That just sounds weird. I prefer Titus. So this is Jaimin Hansu. He's going to get an establishing shot, right? Or an establishing fight, right? God, he's still jacked, isn't he?
I'm tired of.
Like, he's in his 50s now, and like, look at his shoulders, man. That's, whew.
To give you a chance at redemption.
I am beyond.
What about?
Okay, we're 121. I want to go back to that line when we're done. And I hate to do this, I really do. But I'm going to, I have to use that 121 mark there for a... There, see, look! Just the look in Jaimin Hansu's face there. That's performance. That's acting. It's not just saying lines. It's conveying what you're feeling with your all the things that you can use, right? So if I was going to fault bad acting for directing, I'd have to look at other actors inside the piece and see, okay, are we getting the same kind of results? Not really, because we just saw Jaimin Hansu deliver something there, and just the look, and just the look. They wear ties in space? What's with the tie?
You let me go if I tell you.
All of a sudden, he's turned into Dark Helmet, right? Dark Helmet wore a tie. Yeah, that's where we're going, right? Levitica. Sorry, my bad.
This was some time ago, but they were definitely there.
It's the Earth-style clothes that are really throwing me off. James, the Imperials they had jackets and stuff. Yeah, but they didn't have ties. King Levitica. That's cool. 124. 124. Home planet of King Levitica. Tra. Again, we're on a green screen stage. You don't feel like anything's real behind them. Zach's losing world building here because we're on a stage, because everything's blurry in the background. As much as I harp on the sequel trilogy, at least they were able to maintain a little bit of that world building. I didn't like the gambling planet, but at least that was well established. Exegol from the 9th movie, they did good at showing us that world before we got there and what it would be like. I have no idea what this planet is and how it's different from anywhere else. You know what I mean? Is this a water planet? Is it a desert planet? Is it a city planet? What is this place?
Assuming we had a level of trust after our last meeting.
We bought your grain to...
Not one civilization has developed replication food technology. And you would still be eating simple ingredients like grain?
We can pay you with the surplus from our...
Okay.
And the men aboard it are world destroyers.
That transaction, their village is now threatened by Admiral Noble.
You walking up on me, boy? I suggest you move your face back to where it was, sir. Don't squint your eyes at me. That's what I'd be like. You thinking about drawing on me, boy? What is that? That's from a movie called Lawless, where Tom Hardy walks up on what's his name? He played Waylon in Guy Pearce. Sorry, Guy Pearce. When he feels like he's being intimidated, and he's like, "You thinking about drawing on me?" You are 6'4", and I would pee in my pants because I'm 5'6", Piper says. Don't let height bother you. Sometimes the giants fall just as easy as somebody who's short. Well, actually, that doesn't matter. Tall guys, you take out the knee, man. You look for that one solid hit right to the side of the knee or right on front of the knee so it cracks it in.
We will not stand with these defiant farmers to protect their home.
All right. Are you sure you could deliver this monologue a little bit more quiet? Under free will? Come on, everybody. I just spoke. You're supposed to be inspired by that.
Why am I not surprised?
Why am I not surprised? But that's directing. That's not that actor. As poorly as that was delivered, that's not the actor. That's directing. That's on Snyder. So it was just, why are you talking so quietly? Sister, until we meet again. Yeah, I wouldn't draw this to Star Wars. I mean, look at that hull design, the cockpit design. Very industrial.
You think they shouldn't?
Like that railing looks like it's something out of a factory.
It's true.
Okay, lens flare.
You're willing to fight with us?
Since you're
Right. You said yourself you need me.
$133. Hour and 33 minutes, guys.
Do you see that?
The father, I think you killed. You killed the queen, or the king. I give the creatures in Rebel Moon 2 thumbs up. Pfeiffer says. So you like, it's good design. A little bit of a monologue there before he kills him. Taking a page out of Rob Zombie's playbook, are you, Zack Snyder? In almost every Rob Zombie movie, the guy who's about to kill someone has to give some kind of a lecture about injustice or something. Again, I don't know what's up with the people in the red. It does seem like they're there to, like, record what's going on, right? Because they're not guards. And they're not soldiers. Unregistered trade depot. But you kind of get what I mean by the world building? Okay, so like coming into that shot and seeing these kind of floating things is good. But then we immediately had cut to something like this where it's green screen stages again. You lose all scope of it because you've in the background you're putting clouds and mist and stuff that you're not letting us see that world, which is one of the big complaints that Lucas had about Cloud City, is because everything was closed in, you don't get to see it. That's why in the special editions he put in all the background stuff, right?
Oh.
Okay, guys, we are an hour and 38 minutes into this, and there's only about 28 minutes left. So I'm thinking about this in story structure. We should be at a climax or a crisis point right now, launching us into the third act of what this film should be trying to establish. But James, this is just part one. There's not going to be a crisis now. Well, then you're not telling a very comprehensive, cohesive story. So what's the threat? What happens if they don't collect all these people? They're not going to have enough to fight against the bad guy? Is that what's going to happen? I'm not feeling any threat of this not happening.
Everything's done.
Right? This is not like Porkins being shot down in his fighter. We're not getting anything like that. Like there's not a threat. So this isn't right. So Hunnam sold them out. Now we're getting it. Okay. This is on cue as I'm saying it. You were betrayed. Crisis. Uh-oh. I got her. The enslaving robots. So he was trying to butter her up there in the cockpit, right? He was saying, oh yeah, I'm going to fight for you. You can trust me. Now you can't. Tark?
Sis. Her whole family slaughtered.
So is that like nails
The
on the
general
blackboard for
act-
you, Ardglass, hearing that accent? Is it a good accent?
I call you Arthelaus. History.
Is that what you think?
The accent is a bit over the top, much like it was in Sons of Anarchy. Okay.
Well, who all have we got here? Or should I say Prince Tarek?
Prince Tarek.
And yet here I am. I understand why. Imperial officers and their security details.
See, this scene, he's revealing information here. This should be the scene where it's like, that's really who you are. Oh. Like it should be like a big revelation that he's spilling all the beans. Right? So that everybody else who's involved in this was kind of like, really? That's you? Wow. Kind of thing. That's a missed opportunity by Zach here because he spent so much time with the establishing.
Scargiver. Arthelaus.
Scargiver.
On your feet. I've got a job for you.
So somebody will get an edge and they'll escape. And I'm guessing that'll be the end of part 1. Right? Was that all it does is paralyze him? Well, I guess it's a shot straight through the back of the neck, through the spinal column, right? I thought it killed him. Ooh, take that, Hunnam, with your accent. Okay, we know that she's a fighter. Let's see her unleash. Yeah, we know what she could do. Yeah, that's cool. Just saying, bombard the entire area. Kill everyone. Get off the deck, guys. Bye-bye. Oof. Quite the bombardment. Is this supposed to be a sacrifice, guys? Okay, we don't need a slow motion shot of that. This maybe, but him running up the thing, we didn't need that. Okay, well, he got him. He got him, but it came at a cost. Okay, see this? This is a big ship crashing into the platforms. Something like this alone would have been a big enough centerpiece to sell a movie back in the 70s and 80s of a big ship crashing into the platform. Because you know how they would have done it? They would have had to have a really big piece of that set actually crash into the platform. Some kind of a platform. It would have been augmented with maybe like some kind of exterior paintings and stuff. And this happened recently in Aquaman too, where something big was like crashing into something else. And like, you don't feel it. That alone should be enough to sell the movie, this big event. That's a big thing. That's a big spectacle. That's kind of like a building falling over in real life. You watch that on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and it'll be like, oh yeah, I'll watch the building fall over because it's a spectacle. But there's nothing about that crashing into that platform that makes you go, I got to watch that again. That was just so epic. That was monumental. Grain silos falling over on TikTok is more captivating than the way that that was captured. But you know what I mean, right? The scope of events. So they get a showdown? Didn't expect it in part one, actually, to tell you the truth. I thought this would happen in the second part. Chris says he give it a 6 out of 10. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait to see when we're done. I think I am going to do a formal review of this when we're done, and I might do it tomorrow, guys. Give me a day to sit on it and stew. Oof, oof. Broken arm like that. This is why you bring her on. It's because you know that she can do all of this stunt work and stuff. Rebel Moon is still a solid film. Bifer says, not my favorite. This is a pretty cool fight scene. Yeah, I agree with that. Oof. Also, he did get run through. I thought he would continue on to be in the second one. I thought he was supposed to be like the Darth Vader.
This is perfect.
The teeth. Why is this perfect? Why did he say that? Yeah, if we ever have a live action Asajj Ventress, Sofia Boutella should be it, maybe. That's what I'm thinking.
They believed in their cause.
Who's that actress? Oh, sorry, guys. If in case I ever leave the audio on a bit too long or something like that. I'll fix it in post. I'll mute it.
It's the beginning of something.
What?
He saved us.
So, how did she change as a character from the beginning of the movie till now? Did she change? The only one that sort of really did was the guy that I hated at the beginning. The one that sold us out, right?
Kai was a liar and a thief when
In part one, James, or not yet. Yeah. Poor farmer to rebel leader. Perhaps. Yeah, Bifer.
It's almost a shame you killed that son of a bitch.
Cora didn't really change. She was just reawakened as a soldier. Yeah. Trappy? Why'd you put those horns on your head? Why did you kill an animal to do that? You don't eat the food. Okay, so now we get the post scene here that'll establish the next threat. The bad guys learning that their commander fell in battle. Or did he? They're going to resurrect him somehow? Because you can get stabbed here. You'll survive that, right? You fall 20 stories or more. Yeah, you can survive that. We all do, right? Or are they going to harvest his brain? Harvest his brain to see what happened. Belisarius. You mean stabilize him? He's dead. Ew. Pulling back some bionic implants? So they're surgeons? A little bit like the Matrix there? Are they field medics? Oh, you get to see Ed Screen's butt. More butt shot. Is he going to be turned now into a Cenobite? Ed is coming back as Cyborg Darth, maybe. Remember how Hellraiser ended with him being pulled apart as a Cenobite? One of my favorite scenes of the movie. Is that what's going to happen here? He's going to be reborn? So this will tee us up for the second one. We know that they're fighting together. We must crush them. This rebellion must stop.
I have found her. I have found.
Hey, Commander. Did you think
Genius?
send shivers down the spines of the Senate?
Will be yours. So typical bad guy fare. So where was he there? Was he kind of like in a Matrix kind of world? He wasn't really standing there talking to Belisarius. So is Belisarius dead too? Kind of like the world between worlds kind of thing? Is that the final shot of the movie? End part 1. I guess that is. Directed by Zack Snyder. Okay, so we're going to get a preview from the second one. Preview starts in 1 second. Preview? Rebel Moon Part 2. Let's check it out. Exactly in this Jesus Christ pose like the Cenobite. Again, why are we on this farm planet dressed like human beings on an alien planet? Because humans would have inevitably design t-shirts and suspenders the same way on every planet, James. Don't you know that?
Between us and annihilation.
A scar giver. All right, guys. That's Rumble Moon Part 1. Where do I begin? Pfeiffer says not bad. I'd watch it again. Arglass says, I wonder will the director's cut come out before Rebel Moon Part 2? I don't know about that. When is the release date for Rebel Moon Part 2? Let's see if I can look that up for us here. April. Oops, sorry guys, you can't see that. My bad. April 19th. No, it's definitely, the director's cut's not coming out before that. I think it'll, if a director's cut comes out, it'll come out after Part 2. So you guys can see an 8-hour film put together. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts. Did I like this movie? It had some interesting ideas, and it wasn't terrible. How do I articulate this? Okay, what was the inspirations for this, right? It was Star Wars. A little bit of Dune mixed in there, right? With the body morphing and stuff into like spiders and stuff. A little bit of Firefly and Serenity there, right? A lot of that was heavily inspired from those kinds of things. But did it carry the weight of any of those? No. It's not nearly, it's not, it doesn't hold a candle to anything that Star Wars has ever put out, including the atrocious sequel trilogy. Because you just don't feel that magic. I don't, there. I wasn't feeling the magic behind it. There was something wrong with the pacing of this, especially to get us out the gate. A movie should open strong, right? With like, yes, something, a big spectacle kind of thing that'll make you go, holy crap, yes. Now, what would a rated R version of this film do for us? Would it show the soldiers doing war crimes against females? Show some blood? Would people be using F-bombs and stuff like that in it? You don't need that for a sci-fi movie, right? Let's talk about the beginning of this movie. Because I felt like the beginning of it, where he came in and he was talking to the leader, which took like 15 minutes for us to even get to this part. It reminded me a lot of Inglourious Bastards. Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards. Kind of like, okay, here's Hans Landa, except, I hate to say it, Ed Skrein is no Christoph Waltz, right? That's what they were trying to emulate, right? Corey Stoll there. It's fine, but look, it took us 20 minutes to get to this point. The pacing was off. A movie should wow you with the opening scene, establishing the tone and what you're going to get. Maybe it establishes the good guy or the bad guy, but at least it establishes the world. And it took us a while to get to that, and then it was really slow to get going. This is not something that you will want to open up your movie with. And if you are wanting to do this, let me see if I can post this up. If you want this, like this to wow people, this is your Avatar moment. This is supposed to be, holy crap, this is mind-blowing visuals, man. Is it? Here she is, on the stage. You can see this line here is where the stage ends, and it's just like a big screen kind of thing in the background. You don't feel like the mountains in the background. You don't feel like you could walk to there. You don't want that. What's something else I could talk about? Magnificent Seven. also is something that was inspired by this, right? Like of putting together the ragtag group of people that are kind of like all at odds with each other. We're vastly different backgrounds, but you don't. Even the remake of the Magnificent Seven did a better job of making you go, oh, cool. Yeah, we got a good establishing fight sequences with these people, but you don't feel like, oh no, that guy died uh, taking out the gunner. But it's kind of like, did you feel like you didn't feel that that guy died with taking out the gunner? Did you feel the same way about him as you did Chirrut from Rogue One? I am one with the Force is with me. I am one with. Did you feel the same way? No, but that's what you were supposed to feel like, and all of that's in execution. And that comes down to Zack Snyder line delivery. I pulled the timestamp here. I want to pull, and guys, I'll elaborate a little bit more on this when we go into our full review. Listen to the way that she delivers these lines. Sorry, I just got to key it up. 121. Because her line, this is the worst line delivery by her. And maybe it's because it's in contrast of Jaimin Hansu. Like, he's ready to break there, right? Did I not record that properly? Yeah. I'll have to pull this timestamp. But she says something here where it's kind of like, that was not good line delivery.
Because my best hope.
Yeah, it's not Rogue One. Okay, I think it's this line.
I don't think you're meant to die here.
Stop calling me that. I have no right.
I have no time for pity. What about all the...
Yeah, that. I don't have time for pity. Like, did you guys believe that when she said that? She was trying there. I don't know if it's just the take. A lot of her lines just fell flat. Like, if somebody's asking for the definition of flat acting, that was it there. I don't have time for pity. That's not what? I don't have time for pity. I mean, come on, right? Anyway, there's something else too about a little bit of the style of this film, and I know that's not going to resonate. It's going to make you go, ugh. There's a movie called Scott Pilgrim versus the World, where basically he's going to fight all of his exes, and one of the things that I didn't like about that film was that it was a redundant kind of like, oh, okay, well, we went to the first ex, and he's going to fight the ex. Okay, that was fun. That was charming. Okay, we're doing it again for the second ex. We're doing it again for the third one. Oh, this is just a rinse and repeat kind of thing. It fell a little bit into that of she's going to meet a new person, the person with the hat. Okay, we get to see her fight the big spider thing. Okay, fine, that's fine. And then it just became a little bit like that, of the same cycle of, okay, we're recruiting all these people like the Magnificent Seven, but it's kind of like you just don't feel the weight of it. It's not a terrible film, but it's not one that I'm going to revisit.
Okay, there you go. I've said it. I wanted to take a look at the cast list here quickly for a couple of things. Nemesis Ray Fisher was Blood Axe. That was Ray Fisher. Then why was he talking so quietly? That scene too. He was trying to give like a big rousing speech, but again, it falls onto the director of saying, "Why are you talking like this to get your troops all roused up? I alone can do this. Come with me. Fight with me." It's like, what the heck are you talking about? Cleopatra Coleman was Devra. Okay, was it no, Rhiannon Reese is the queen. Jenna Malone was Harmada? Was Harmada the big spider thing? Was that Jenna Malone? What the heck are you doing? Was Jenna Malone the spider? Carrie Always the king. E. Duffy was Milius. No, it's Ingvar Sigurdsson was the guy I thought was one of the Harris. No, it's Sigurdsson. Okay. What else was he in? He was in Northman. Okay, that's why I recognize. Scotland, Killing Eve. Lamb. Oh, he was also in Lamb. Ugh. Lamb was such a weird movie. Yeah, talking about weird movies. All right. All right, then I guess it's time to figure out what people were saying about it. Does this qualify as a 23%? No, it does not qualify it to be a 23%. Is it a 69%? 69, man! No, I don't know where. I'll articulate this better when I do my formal review to it tomorrow, because I'm going to do a formal review to it tomorrow before I go out and celebrate Christmas, because I'm seeing the Iron Claw tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing my review for both Iron Claw and Rebel Moon tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know. If I can't, then I can't get to it. But you guys saw my reaction to it. Let's see what some of the snapshot reviews say. New York Post didn't like it. Like the Death Star obliterating planets, Zack Snyder is out to topple countless innocent genres. So that's a stab at his genre. Richard Roper didn't like it. A ponderous slog from Snyder that wastes time on stock characters and slow-mo. Yeah, the slow motion was... Eesh. They need to dial back on that one. That's one of the reasons why it gets so long, Zach, is because you put in all these slow motion shots, and it's not necessary at all the times. We're smart enough and fast enough to say that, okay, that guy jumping across is a cool shot. That's a cool shot of him running up the ramp and jumping across to stab the gunner. Was a cool shot. We don't need a slow motion of him running up the ramp, though. We don't need that. Right? We're smart enough to cue in and see that, and I'll recognize that. You don't need the slow-mo that. But anyway, Globe and Mail liked it. Inimitably watchable trash. Inimitably watchable trash. The kind of high gloss nothingness that doesn't matter unless you want it to. Yeah, there was a couple of scenes in here where I was kind of like, okay, you're giving a lot of background and exposition for things that don't really seem to pertain to this movie. Like stuff about the king and stuff like that, where it's kind of like, okay, there's a lot of exposition in it like that. Pacing is, storytelling is, So we know in part 2, the bad guys are going to come get him. Right? Come fight him. A child of fire. Who is the child of fire? She was? Oh, yeah, I guess she was, because she's the daughter of Serbius or whatever his name is, right? See, I don't know the names. That's a problem too. Blantius or whatever it is, the bad guy's name.
Snyder killing us with relentless, awful exposition. Yeah, I can say that. Relentlessly awful exposition, a marked lack of originality, boilerplate sci-fi characters, plot twists, and betrayals with little dramatic impact, and green screens. Yeah, the green screens was way too much. Yeah, Zach overlooked the slow-mo, unlike John Woo. Overcooked. Oh, yeah, the slow-mo, unlike John Woo, yeah. Guys, I don't know where I would rank on this. Okay, well, would I watch this or would I tell you to go and see Aquaman? Go see Aquaman. Hey, you saw me come out of Aquaman and say, okay, that had some story issues. This has some story issues too, but at least with Aquaman, you've got a little bit of a story there that's going like, that'll make you go, okay, check that out because of this. The Charlie Hunnam betrayal. Don't care. I don't care. This is what I feel about Rebel Moon. I'm nowhere near as 23%, but I'm not. I'm probably 6, 5.5 out of 10 for Rebel Moon. Yeah, it's all the criticisms of it being too long, too boring. I think Harloff said it was boring. I could see that. Like when you watch it again, you'll want to watch it with the fast forward button. No, okay, we don't need to watch that scene. We don't need to watch that scene. And I'm sorry, Zach. You were given full reign here to do what you wanted. So give us that so-called director's cut. Like, I don't see how extra scenes are going to, like, augmenting certain scenes in this is going to improve it. Because it doesn't feel like it was the same setup as Justice League, where they did refilm big portions of that movie for the Whedon cut. It's not like this. It's not like that for this situation. He filmed all the scenes that he wanted. They're there. Why didn't you give it to us like that? I'm like everybody else in that. So it is a bit of a letdown, guys, for me. Go see Aquaman. Go see Poor Things. Poor Things. Like, that's filmmaking. That's Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things. That's a movie where you'll be at the end. You'll come out of it and be going, holy crap, what did I just watch? Oh my God. That's what Zack Snyder wanted you to feel coming out of Rebel Moon. And I'm not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling it, and it sucks. And it almost hurts me to say it. It almost does. All right. Pfeiffer says, better film, Rebel Moon or Napoleon? Ooh, interesting question. Well, Rebel Moon sci-fi. My initial reaction coming out of it, if I had to watch one right now again, I would watch Napoleon. And I was hard on that film. I was really hard on it. It's just some of that dialogue, as I said, from that 121, guys. It is cringe.
Only that.
And
I have no time for pity.
maybe it's the way that it's filmed. Maybe I don't know, Zach. I don't know. All right, guys, I'm not done. We are done with Rebel Moon, but I've got about 20 minutes here, and I do want to film my review for Poor Things. So I'm going to review Poor Things now, and we're going to put this up on we'll cut this out and put it up on the channel later. But for everybody else who's watched Rebel Moon, thank you very much. What else can you find here on the channel? You can find my review for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Rebel Moon, full reaction was up on the channel now. My review for Poor Things will be up very shortly because we're going to do it right now. Waka review is up on the channel. Of course, we finished watching Survivor Season 45 this week. Hell's Kitchen is on hiatus until the new year, the broadcast schedule, guys. Hey, if it's not on TV, we can't react to it. So there you go. But it will be back January 4th. We'll be back with another episode of Hell's Kitchen. And then, of course, we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the big trending movie news headlines of the day. There are all my other social media handles. Let me know what you thought about Rebel Moon. Did you like it?
Are you anticipating more? What am I grossly undervaluing it, or do I have a wrong perspective? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and we will talk about it. You're watching Mirror Domains. All right, let's get into Poor Things. Poor Things. Whoops. I want to pull up the trailer. Okay. Do I got the poster? Yeah, we got the poster, James. We have the poster. This movie is so weird, man. Oh my God, Poor Things. Yeah, I think it's compare, like, okay, I saw Aquaman, Rebel Moon, and Poor Things. Poor Things is the better movie, obviously. But it's weird, man. It's weird. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's pull up my chats. Okay. Poor Things, starring Emma Stone, is out in theaters right now, guys. It's one of my one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and did it deliver? It's a weird kind of Frankenstein story from Yorgos Lanthimos, where basically Willem Dafoe plays like the Dr. Frankenstein, and he puts together this monstrosity known as well, Emma Stone's character. And she's kind of like learning the way around the world, right? How do you respond to society? Let's go over to the IMDb. Poor Things. The incredible tale about the fantastical evolution of Bella Baxter. Yeah, that's Bella, right? She plays Bella. That's her name. A young woman brought back to life by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist, Dr. Goodwin Baxter. Now, this is from the director of The Lobster and Killing of the Sacred Deer. Really polarizing films. Very different style filmmaker. He can evoke a strong emotional response out of you. If you have ever watched Killing of a Sacred Deer, you're going to hate that movie when you first watch it. But then you'll be like, but no, there's some really cool stuff going on in there, acting-wise, script-wise. And it's the same for Poor Things. Acting-wise, Willem Dafoe and well, the supporting cast, Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo is also in this. The world building in this is great. We just watched Rebel Moon on Netflix, and I wish Zack Snyder took a page out of this. Like, see, yeah, we get these wide establishing shots of this weird kind of island kind of thing that wouldn't really exist anywhere. But then we go and play in that world. We get to see the skylines and stuff like that. So it feels like, yeah, it's fantastical, but it feels like it's also kind of like real, like tangible, right? You're not just sitting on a green screen stage. The cinematography in this is also breathtaking. Like, see how it's kind of like cropped in black there? Yorgos seems to use that when something weird is going on. And this movie has a lot of weird things going on in it. So if somebody's being salacious or being hypersexual, then that's the kind of angle that you would see, right? Or if somebody's peeing on the floor, getting beat up because you winked at somebody, that kind of thing. That's what happens in this. And it being like, huh, I didn't expect that to happen. Oh, we're going down that route. Ooh, do I like this? But then it transforms into being that weird kind of movie where you evolve with the character Bella, played expertly by Emma Stone, where it's like she's beginning to learn about the world. She's absorbing it. And while she was like playfully innocent at the beginning, also very murderous is the best way to say it.
there's a combination there with that, with the adult themed sex. It's just like, what is this movie? And it's like, my God. Uh, you think that with that kind of crass, in your face stuff would be off putting. It'd be like, nah, guys, like if you watched Wolf of Wall Street and you didn't like the way that women were depicted in that, you're like, that's really crass. I don't know if I like this. It's not like that. Yes, there's a lot of crass kind of depravity going on in this film. A lot has to do from Mark Ruffalo. It's like, yeah, it's crass, but I'm kind of also kind of like enjoying it at the same time. It's again, I'm going to use that word, weird. Windows, phallic shaped windows. Costuming, production design in this is brilliant. It's fantastic. And I said this coming out of the theater. If you like movies this year like Beau is Afraid or Asteroid City, which is artistic and it's got that art house flair to it, then you'll like this movie. You'll fall in love with this movie because this movie is like that, but it's done so much better. Like everything that you thought Beau is Afraid was going to be like, this movie is. Beau is Afraid was just boring. It dealt with like, yeah, over the top kind of crass stuff as well. Oh yeah, you get to see a little bit of it there. Sorry. That's in the trailer. You see that in the trailer. So you guys know what's going to happen to her in this movie kind of thing, right? As she's exploring her body. It is what it is. But you'll come out of it going, wait, did I like that movie? Yeah, that's the way it is. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. Let's go over to my score sheet and get in some preliminary scores here. Acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are out of 1 point each. And let's start off with the acting. Emma Stone is awesome in this. Mark Ruffalo is also really awesome in this. And there's a really cool scene because it is that Frankenstein story where she comes back and meets her creator at the end. And there's some really cool moments there from Willem Dafoe as well, where you could say that's Oscar-worthy acting right there. And what I liked about it too is that, yeah, you could tell that he's a crazy kind of mad scientist, but he always goes on to talk about his father and how his father treated him and gave him the scars on his face. So Willem Dafoe does a great job in portraying that with minimal, I would say, direction. But that's just the power of Willem Dafoe, right? You know, he'll sink his acting meat hooks into any little bit that you give him, and he's just full on display here with this kind of thing, right? There's a revelation in it that is heartbreaking to that character, and it's like the movie's just full of that kind of stuff. Continuing on with the direction of this movie, I got to give it a full 2 points. Because everything artistically, technically, cinematically was well done. Acting-wise, well done. You would think that because pacing might be an issue here. This movie comes in about 2 hours. You're not going to feel it because everything's done. This movie does take a little bit of a side story where it steps to do a tangent towards the end. But it's kind of like it does that to tie up a loose end. And sometimes when you go off in tangents in movies, it's kind of like, guys, just get back to the main story. But no, you actually want to go down that weird story with Bella and close off, because it's like Frankenstein, guys. Who was that body belonging to? It's kind of like explaining that kind of thing, right? You want to know that. It closes off certain things. So story-wise, my God. Let's give that 1.5 for right now. Not 1.3, James, 1.5. And we work in increments of 0.5 here. Cinematography, as I said, all those weird shots work. Score I'll give a full point too. And I need to highlight something here about the score, the soundtrack. This movie makes really good use of the soundtrack in it. And if you remember scenes like from The Lobster where they like fight and then it's got that weird kind of synth or strings music in it, it's kind of like that for this, but the soundtrack is noticeable and they do use it well. There's like a scene when they're rubbing body parts that they use I think it's like a slide whistle or some weird flute. When once you start to hear that music cue, it's like, oh, okay, we're going there again, huh? And you're like in the theater listening to this weird flute music, watching people. So the score is impactful, but it's not a soundtrack score that you would go out and say, oh, I want to buy the soundtrack to that. That's what I wouldn't put it on in the background to listen to it, but it is impactful and it is noticeable. So I'm giving the score a full point there. All right, let's go over to the tomato meter and see what people are saying about this movie. Poor Things. 93% by the critics, 90% by the audience, guys, and it's high up there. Yeah, if you're somebody who's apprehensive to artsy type films, like the beginning starts off very artsy, and Yorgos does a great job of using black and white. I would say this is a good application of black and white. This is a movie that these scenes that were in black and white were shot for black and white. Like, look at the colors and the textures of the stairwell and the shadows on her face. It's not a film that was shot in color and then turned black and white. And yes, look at the chicken dog, guys, the duck dog in the background. The movie's full of little things like that. We're be like, wait a minute, what kind of creature is that? Yeah, it's so wonderfully weird. There's a dance. My favorite scene in this. There's a dance scene in this, where it's like Mark Ruffalo and Emma Stone dancing on the stage, and it's easily it got the biggest laugh out of me because it's like you could tell when actors get like really cool parts and they want to sink their teeth like into it and just have fun workshopping things. That dance scene was a lot of fun. Yeah, a big smile went across my face when you see Mark Ruffalo start to move his feet and get on the floor. It's like, wow, weird, man. All right, so let's take a look at the snapshot reviews and see if we agree with the people, if what they're saying is true or not, or things we agree with. So Minneapolis Star Tribune. No actor in 2023 has committed to a role more than Emma Stone does in Poor Things. Yeah, she commits. She bears it all too, so she's very exposed in this. Rex Reed didn't like it. I hated it, but reluctantly give it 1 star for whimsical sets and costumes, and there's a minute sprinkle of suspense while you wait for a point of view that never arrives. No, it closes off. There's no loose ends in this. You just weren't paying attention. Most eagerly successful is the creepy lawyer Mark Ruffalo, who leads Bella on worldwide adventures that allow ever-notorious director Yorgos Lanthimos substantial room for more quirkiness than style. Best film of the year, Pittsburgh Magazine says. It's up there, guys. It's up there. I want to see one more review from somebody who didn't like it. Not you, Rex. We've already seen yours. Art Fuse. Maybe the point is that the film itself is a fusion of disparate elements, a whimsical, extravagant chimera of styles and images. If so, then it is to the detriment of the pathos that is at the heart of Poor Things. What are you talking? That's the definition of word salad right there. Okay, Alachia Queen. She's a YouTuber. I never thought I'd want to see an R-rated Disney princess film by Yorgos Lanthimos. And after seeing this, I still don't. It is a little bit like a princess movie because Bella is kind of like a princess. Now, she's a very adult rated. This could be a very easily an X-rated film. So if people out there who were clamoring for an R-rated Disney from Rebel Moon, then you're going to get an R-rated Disney princess movie from Yorgos Lanthimos, and that's the perfect way to articulate Poor Things. It's an R, almost X-rated Disney princess story. Oh, I love this movie. There it is, right there. Let's go and take a look at my final score and see if I rank up there with everybody else. Whoops. Interesting premise, right? Interesting premise. So 0.5 for that. I would tell you to go see this in the theater, so I give it that a full point. Would I watch this again? 1.5? Oh, most definitely. That's a 9 out of 10. Would I own it on Blu-ray even? My God. 4K. If Chris Schober is still here, yeah, man, this is something that I would have on 4K. For God's sakes. It's okay. Out of his movies, Lobster, Killing of a Sacred Deer. There's one more I'm forgetting. Poor Things. Poor Things is his best. But closely behind that, I think Killing of the Sacred Deer is up there as well. And that's one that I absolutely hated. My response to Killing of a Sacred Deer was visceral. And a lot of that has to do with what happens at the end, at the climax. Killing of a Sacred Deer. You can guess what happens, but it's kind of like, but then in hindsight, I'm like, but it was so masterfully crafted. The acting in it was great. The story was, telling was great. Was it? Because it made me feel this visceral thing. And people will be like that for this as well. Maybe due to the hyper sexualization of things that happen to her character. People will feel that visceralness to that, perhaps. But it's warranted, and it comes around. It pays off at the end. And I would love to see continuing adventures of Bella, but I don't think we need to because it's all in this movie. It's all said and done in here, man. And it's a grand experience. 9.5 out of 10, the highest rated movie of the year so far for me. But will it be number one movie of the year for me? No, I still think that I would have to give that to Oppenheimer. Although this is probably close second, guys. Very close second. And then probably Godzilla -1 would be number 3. My list is coming together, guys. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Godzilla -1. Hey, you guys. Whew, we've had a good year in movies, and it's good. I wish that this is a good way to end it out, man, on a big high like this. Poor Things. I can't say enough. I'm rambling on now, guys. I don't want to oversell it to you guys because if I say that it's so grand, but it is, man. It totally is. And it's kind of like, there'll be times when be like, where's this great movie you were telling me about, James? Where's this great movie? Just give it a chance. Give it a chance. It comes around and everything pays off. There's reasons for things to be there. And you're not going to get an overuse of slow-mo in this. Great movie. 9.5 for Poor Things. I'd watch it again on repeat for sure. There it is. Thumbs up. All right, guys, if you like this kind of thing, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. What else can you find here on the channel, Mirror Domains? Well, we did a review for Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. That's up on the channel right now as well. We watched Rebel Moon. Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, Part 1, full movie reaction up on the channel right now. And, of course, my review for Poor Things is up. My review for Wonka is also up on the channel. I enjoyed that movie, too. That's also a really good movie. We watched the finale of Survivor Season 45, and we're in the midst of watching Hell's Kitchen, and we do movie news throughout the week, where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. Guys, we like movies here, man, and if that's your bag, hope you can come join us. Hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you next time, right here on Your Domains.